Alright, let's flash back to somewhere around 2011 when a 6-year-old me is looking at funny Sonic videos on my mother's iPad. I found this video of a super unsaturated pixelated Sonic jumping around this blocky obstacle course in 3D. I had no idea what that was at the time and I can't find that video today. What I'm pretty sure I saw was a Sonic fan game called Sonic Roboblast 2 made in the Doom engine. Sonic Roboblast 2 is this amazing Sonic fan game that's 3D and exactly what fans want. It's been in development for so many years and everybody loves it. But today we're not talking about Sonic the Hedgehog. Today we're talking about Doom. Now when I was a wee lad, I wasn't allowed near anything that was even slightly demonic in my dear sweet mother's eyes. Skulls? Nope. Vampires? Definitely not. Pokemon? Oh dear sweet baby Jesus, somebody call the pastor. So I had no idea what Doom was when I was a kid, which was surprising because I was on the internet a lot watching people play video games and somehow Doom just never showed up. So I had no idea what Doom was until around when Doom 2016 was about to get released. I kept seeing all the memes that were like, oh, Doomslayer's this angry, too angry to die guy, and he emanates metal music from his armpits. Whoa! I still had no idea what it was about in the game. All I knew was a demon, Mars, something like that. But when Doom Eternal was about to get released, I saw so many Doomslayer and Isabelle memes, you cannot avoid that. I was also hearing a lot about its soundtrack, so I thought, yeah, I'll give it a listen. I needed this game, but I only had $5 at the time, so I was like, I'll just play it on my Switch, get the original. It's only $5. But the thing was, I had my own credit card, but my mom's email address was still linked to my Nintendo account. So she found out. But I got the game, and let me tell you, I was horrible at it, but I loved that aesthetic. I don't know what it was, but the original design for Doom Guy, I absolutely adore. Something about simple, solid colors on a character with not too many lines is really appealing to me. If you can draw something easily, it's already good in my opinion. Like in Ocarina of Time, you just got a green dude. Green shirt, maybe a belt, that's peak character design. Most of the TF2 mercenaries, there's some guy in a red shirt and maybe a belt too. And that's all I need. That's peak character design. It's easy to draw. If you know anything about me, I love the way games look, and I really don't care about the gameplay. Like Pokemon, you got those cute little creatures and they're all cool looking. You got this one that looks like a sword, this one that just looks like a cat. But I am horrible at that game. Strategy games, just what? Eevee, the IV. I didn't know I was taking a blood test. I also really like the kind of story Doom has that doesn't take itself too seriously. Depending on who you ask, the story for Doom's different every time. The plot's still the same. Everyone dead. You, the lone survivor.
Hotel Trivago.
And it's oh, scientists are messing around with stuff they shouldn't be messing around and doing stuff wacky. And they're hey, don't be doing that wacky stuff. And hey, we'll just keep doing this wacky stuff. And then, SpaghettiOs, they open a portal.
Stay back!
But there are so many iterations that have their own take on the story. You got the 2005 movie that I watched, and I actually laughed at that more than I did, take it seriously. I mean, The Rock's in there, on the big screen. He has a BFG. There's a first-person scene, that's kind of cool. There's also Doom Annihilation, and I watched 20 minutes of that movie, and no, it wasn't even 20 minutes, it was probably was just 30 seconds. I cannot handle that. You also have the Doom novels that were written by David Abhue and Brad and Lena Weaver. I think I said that right, and I also might be forgetting another person. When I edit this, please remember to put this up on screen. In this novel, Doom Guy's real name was Corporal Flint Sagger.
Yours truly.
A rebellious Marine who, when ordered by his commanding officer to fire on innocent civilians, assaults him, causing him to be sent to the UIC base on Mars, where some wacky stuff happens. You also have the Doom comic that takes that thing I like about Doom, not taking itself too seriously, and kind of does it a little too much. You also have the screens of text on it explaining the story in the game. There's also headcanons that fans have made, where Doom Guy is the grandson of VJ Blazkowicz from Wolfenstein, and Commander Keen is his dad. I think that's really cool, but I don't know if that's really true. id Software, please make that true. But probably the best story you get out of all these is the Doom manual. The story so far. You're a Space Marine, one of Earth's toughest, hardened in combat and trained for action. 3 years ago, You assaulted a superior officer for ordering his soldiers to fire upon civilians. He and his body cast were shipped to Pearl Harbor, while you were transferred to Mars, home of the Union Aerospace Corporation. The UAC is a multi-planetary conglomerate with radioactive waste facilities on Mars and its 2 moons, Phobos and Deimos. To conduct these very secret projects, remote facilities on Phobos and Deimos. I reread that line. There's no action for 50 million miles. Your day consisted of sucking dust and watching restricted flicks in the rec room. For the last 4 years, the military UAC's biggest supplier has used the remote facilities on Phobos and Deimos to conduct various secret projects, including research on interdimensional space travel. So far, they've been able to open gateways between Phobos and Deimos, throwing a few gadgets into one and watching them come out the other. Recently, however, gateways have grown dangerously unstable. Military volunteers entering have either disappeared and been stricken with a strange form of insanity, babbling vulgarities, bludgeoning anything that breathes, finally suffering an untimely death of full body explosion. Matching heads with torsos to send home to the folks became a full-time job. The latest military reports state that the research is suffering a small setback, but everything is under control. A few hours ago, Mars received a garbled message from Phobos. We require immediate military support. Something fragging evil's coming out of the gateways. Computer systems have gone berserk. The rest was incoherent. Soon afterwards, Deimos simply vanished from the sky. Since then, attempts to establish contact with either moon have been unsuccessful. You and your buddies, the only combat troop for 50 million miles, were sent up pronto to Phobos. You were ordered to secure the perimeter of the base while the rest of the team went inside. For several hours, your radio picked up sounds of combat guns firing, men yelling orders, screams, bones cracking, and finally, silence. Seems your buddies were dead. It's up to you. Things aren't looking too good. You'll never navigate off the planet on your own. Plus, all those heavy weapons have been taken by the assault team, leaving you with only a pistol. If only you could get your hands around a plasma rifle or even a shotgun, you'd take a few down on your way out. Whatever killed your buddies deserves a couple of pellets in the forehead. Securing your helmet, you exit the landing pod. Hopefully you can find more substantial firepower somewhere within the station. As you walk through the main entrance of the base, you hear animal-like growls echoing throughout the distant corridors. They know you're here. There's no turning back now. But I mean, whatever. John Carmack even once said, story in a game is like story in a
adult film.
It's expected to be there, but it's not that important. So I beat the game and then I beat the sequel on my Switch, but I really wanted to play on a mouse and keyboard because I felt like that would be better. I didn't have a PC, so I couldn't get the Steam port. I really don't like how GZ Doom looks. But after a while, I saved up for a PC, and the first thing I got was Doom 2. I played through a little bit of Doom 0, I beat Thy Flesh Is Consumed, and then I played Plutonia. Oh, Plutonia. Skeletons. Chambers. Urg files. I also got inspired by Civ11 to make this video, so thank you to him. And so I started revisiting the first game, which was it felt underwhelming at first. At Doom's Gate, love that song. The classic. The Doom song. Not any of that Invader Zim nonsense.
I gotta sing the Doom song now! Doom, 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 doom!
When I first played, I was playing on Hurt Me Plenty, and now I'm playing on Ultraviolence. And like, all I really notice is that shotgunners annoy me a lot more. One of the best thing about these levels is creators are always trying to put secrets in their maps. You got 3 simple secrets in this level, which are pretty easy to find if you're patient enough to explore, unlike me. Because when I first played, I just tried to shoot towards the exit as soon as I could. The first enemies you're going to meet in this level are the zombie men, shotgunner, and the imps. Zombie men by themselves are pretty easy to deal with. Their attacks are hit scan, which basically just means that there's not going to be a delay when they fire and when you get hit. A lot of times zombie men just miss their shot completely, but if they're in large numbers, they're going to drain your health fast. And that goes double for the shotgunner. Shotgunners are basically the same thing as zombie men, but instead of like a little pea shooter, they have a shotgun. Get too close to these guys and your health is just gone. These guys can be just as dumb as the zombie men, but other times they like to turn into Clint Eastwood and kill you from across the map. Now imps throw fireballs at you, which you can easily avoid, thank god they're not hit scan. Pretty easy to deal with, but if they're in large numbers, they're going to have you dancing around the map. Now this track, the Imp song, Not as fast-paced as the other ones. Now, this entire game soundtrack is really good. I just like the more fast-paced songs for the gameplay. Nevertheless, the song is still really fun to listen to. Makes you feel like you're power marching through this level to kill some demons. Now, this level has a lot more secrets, a lot more enemies, and it's really easy to forget which side of the level you're on if you're as dumb as me, because I'm horrible with directions. There's a lot more secrets in this map, and I was originally going to make this entire run 100% secrets, but my first playthrough, I never really cared about the secrets, but boy do they show up out a lot with extra health, stronger weapons. I remember this confusing me a lot more than it should when I first played. You see, the Doom engine works like this. All the enemies and items are infinitely tall. Well, kind of, because there's like the vertical auto-aim and yeah, whatever. Basically, the collision hitbox is infinitely tall, and if I run fast enough into this wall, I can hypothetically collide with the hitbox and grab this armor. I'm no expert on this. You should check out Decino's videos again. He has a video that explains all of this so much better, and I wouldn't have known it if he didn't make the video on it. Seems really eerie and feels more like you're exploring through the rubble of some ruins, which I guess is a great song for Doom, because it's kind of what the story is. It's still not as fast paced as I'd like it to be, because it doesn't really scream mowing down some demons. After you cross the bridge to get the blue key card, you experience one of the game's first monster closet traps. Map creators like doing this, especially Mr. Romero himself. When I was doing research for this video, I realized the level has a secret exit that takes you to E1M9, the military base. I'm writing the script as I found this out, so let's go play it. But man, that song, Hiding the Secrets, that's what I'm talking about in this game's soundtrack. Fast-paced and thrilling. Time to kill some demons. Now back to Toxin Refinery. In this level you meet the Pinky and its translucent counterpart, the Spectre. Technically they aren't called Pinkies in this game. Their tag code is MT Sergeant, which is what they were going to be called in the Doom Bible, but that's not canon. Some call them pigs, and in the ending they just call them demon, which, what are these then? So in interviews with the creators, they refer to it as Pinkies because of their color, and it just stuck ever since. The game's manual describes them as sort of like a shaved gorilla, except with horns, a big head, lots of teeth, and harder to kill. Don't get too close to them, or they'll rip your fragging head off. The original Doom manuals are a treat to read, and I really recommend reading them. These guys are mainly bullet sponges and have no range attack. They run up and bite you, which can either deal 4 or 40 damage depending on the RNG. Yeah, this game has RNG. Well, kinda. You see, the way Doom's random number generator works is that it actually isn't random. The programmers made a chart with 256 values. When the game needs a random number, the chart gives the game a random number, which the first being 0. Next time there needs to be a random number, the game gives the next value on the chart, which is 8. I'm no expert in any of this again. Just go watch Decino's video on the topic. He's really good at explaining it, and I'm not. Pinkies can have their attack fully avoided by baiting them into trying to bite you and stepping out of the hitbox before they bite down. Spectres are just retextured Pinkies that are hard to see. Well, at least when it's dark. Usually you'll notice them by their sounds. Just keep your distance and you'll be fine. Yes! This is what I'm talking about. Just screams mowing down demons with a train gun. The name of the song is literally called Kitchen Ace and Taking Names. The entire original soundtrack for this game is amazing. These fast-paced ones are my favorite, however. Not much to really say about this level though. More keys, more paths. This vent area isn't fun though. Like in any FPS, tight spaces where you can't move are really not fun. Fun fact though, this is the level that had a swastika in the shareware version of Doom, then got removed for obvious reasons. This game had enough controversy already with the violent video game scare in the 90s. I wasn't alive in the 90s, but I'm a sucker for aesthetic stuff if you haven't realized. Doom was actually what made my icon a floppy disk, while my computer, my intro is an old CRT monitor. This is also why I bought myself a Unicomp Ultra Classic Model M keyboard. Also, off-topic note, why isn't there any beige computers anymore? When I was building my PC, I looked everywhere for a beige case. Some have custom made it, but I'm too lazy for any of that. Some companies do some dumb limited edition stuff, but come on, I know for a fact that me and hundreds, if not thousands of people would buy them too. Anyways.
This track is again great. Is it that fast-paced demon killing feel? No, this track's called Suspense, and that's exactly what it is, suspenseful. Some consider Doom a horror game, but in my personal opinion, it's just a fun, fast-paced shooter. But don't get me wrong, Bobby Prince, this OST, mwah! This room was when during my first time playing the game, I realized I bit off a bit more than I could chew. This room right here made me sweat trying to avoid all the M fireballs, hit scanners, running from pinkies, while also trying to not accidentally get hit by an explosive barrel. I never really used them the first time I played, but I've had so much fun gibbing demons, jibbing, whatever you want to call it. But this room is tough for newcomers. Heck, it was also for me in this run. First time I found the secret was by complete accident. The next secret right next to it as well, the supercharged soul sphere. These give you 100 more health. Even if you're capped at 100 health or lower, these will double your health by max at 200. Along with this secret, you get the
Chainsaw, the great communicator.
The chainsaw is just a melee weapon that's faster than fighting demons in order to save ammo. It's also great for making the monsters enter a pain state. Pain states are random times monsters will stutter in attacking you. Each monster has their own chances of entering a pain state and their own amount of time that they are in that pain state. For example, pinkies have a 70% chance of entering a pain state while imps have an 80% chance. Again, I'm no good at explaining this. Decino has a whole series talking about this game structure, and honestly, I wouldn't know about any of this if it wasn't for them. This level's creator, John Romero, at the end of the level wanted to show off that he can make the lights flicker, which is annoying. Now this track is weird to me. Me being the turbo nerd I am, I listen to game soundtracks and buy them on vinyl. Please, someone buy me this record. I need it, please. Every time this track would come on when I was listening to the OST for this game, the beginning always throws me off and I just kind of skip the song. But if you listen to the rest of it, it's actually really fast paced and I like it. Now this level is where I first started having a lot of trouble with this run I'm recording. Remember how I said compared to other Doom campaigns, I've played knee deep in the dead, which is underwhelming? Well, yeah, this room screwed me over a lot. Along with the fact I accidentally loaded a save from another run, making me lose all my weapons and almost made me throw out the no save rule, but I never loaded it. This level has a lot of toxic pools and walkways, which make it really confusing about where you are. This level throws a lot of monsters attacking you from what seems like all ends. The Demons on the Prey has intense drums making for an impending Doom feeling, no pun intended. I actually don't remember playing this map at all when I first played. It almost feels like an entirely new level to me. I actually really think this is my favorite map, I don't know why, but the whole feel it gives off and the shape of the room is very appealing to me. This level has a lot of shotgunners along with hallways that kept getting me confused on where I had to go next with the red and yellow keycards. But again, I'm just dumb and bad with directions. I recently got my driver's license, let me tell you, if it weren't for Google Maps telling me where to go, I would probably be in the middle of the desert appearing on a live leak. This level's track, Signs of Evil, great atmosphere with the feeling of absolute dread. You start in this room with Pinky surrounded by barrels. Bigger, harder hitting, more tanky imps. They throw two at you along with a room full of specters. Pretty easy fight, just keep moving and you'll be fine.
Once you beat the big badasses and clean out the moon base, you're supposed to win, aren't you? Aren't you? Where's your fat reward and ticket home? What the hell is this? It's not supposed to end this way. It stinks like rotten meat, but looks like the lost Deimos space. Looks like you're stuck on the shores of hell. The only way out is through. To continue the Doom experience, play The Shores of Hell and its amazing sequel, Inferno.
Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. It's been a year almost a year in production. I started this like late November of 2021. Call it motivation procrastination, losing the files in Premiere, but it's done. I'm kind of happy with it. Yeah, this is gonna be a series. I enjoy Doom. If you couldn't tell, this video has just been Frankenstein together from old versions with audio and then stitched together with versions with no audio, so the audio didn't sound like dookie, even though it still kind of does. And then yeah, but thank you so much for watching. I loved making this video, and I am going to be doing episode 2, The Shores of Hell, next, and I hope it's a lot better than this, because again, I recorded most of the lines a year ago, so my voice is probably like slightly different, or not my voice, but like my energy. And yeah, thank you so much for sticking around and watching. And my friend Aiden says hi. To continue the Doom experience, play The Shores of Hell and its amazing sequel to continue... Ernie!